Happy 2024, everyone. I just saw Godzilla -1. Holy crap, is it good? Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning into the Tom Patelson Show. Happy 2024. Yeah, Godzilla -1. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Saw it January 1st in a medium to full packed theater, and I've loved Godzilla forever. This is so good. This is so good. Please go see this. If you haven't seen Godzilla -1, please go see it. But it's got subtitles. Yeah, you won't even notice it. You won't even notice it. Oh my God. My history of Godzilla. Why have I loved Godzilla so much? Now, I'm watching the Monarch television show, Monarch Legacy of Monsters, and I'll do the follow-up review for the rest of that season on how that's going. But my love of Godzilla goes back to when I was in elementary school, and my brother John and I would watch watch television on Saturday afternoon. There would be a 2 o'clock movie on Channel 2, and it was always Godzilla or Abbott and Costello or Laurel and Hardy, but mostly Godzilla and King Kong and Mighty Joe Young. All of those old Godzilla movies I've seen, every single one of them, I believe. And then my dad, for whatever reason, I'm one of 5 kids, but he took John and I to go see Godzilla versus Megalon at the drive-in movie theater, just the two of us, and just geeked out on that when he does the tail slide and it's all goofy, stupid fun. Oh, great one. And I've loved Godzilla ever since. I love this Godzilla, this Godzilla, this Godzilla, this Godzilla, and I even love this Godzilla, even though it means loving this Godzilla. Yes, that's the 1978 cartoon Godzilla, by the way, which was such a cartoon thing that they do, where the big thing needs to happen at the end. How do I put that? Like if you ever watched Battle of the Planets, they could never do anything until they go to the Fiery Phoenix at the end. So the end of every episode, they go to the Fiery Phoenix, and that's how they win. Same thing with Voltron. Voltron, they are 5 separate cat robots that can never do anything, or lions, or whatever you want to call them. They could never do anything. They always get their ass kicked, and until they finally decide, maybe we should form into the giant Voltron robot, and when they do, they save the day. The Godzilla 78 cartoon was the same. The guy's got a button on his belt that calls Godzilla. They've got a phone to Godzilla, and Godzilla shows up to thwart a bank robbery or change a light bulb, and those are made up, but it's not far off. It's not far off. But I even love that. I love that Godzilla. The original Godzilla movie came out in 1954 in Japan. And he is atomic powered and fueled by the hydrogen bomb. And this version does homage to that Godzilla movie and all the other Godzilla movies. And they posted at the very beginning, they said it's a celebration of 70 years. 70 years of Godzilla. Wow, that is such a thing. And Godzilla came out just after World War II, not even 10 years after the end of World War II did Godzilla come out. So this one is set post-World War II, days after the end of the war. And I can't give away some important plot points, and I'm not going to tell you so much about the characters because this movie is character driven. It's not about Godzilla. It's about the people who get to fight Godzilla. And our hero is really going through it. Our melodramatic hero has life is chewing him up and spitting him out, and then to top it all off, Godzilla shows up and is trying to wreck the world. I mean, my goodness, yeah. The heroes in this film are just, they're downtrodden time after time after time again. So, Godzilla. Like I said, he's atomic powered. We find out through the atomic bomb that Godzilla gets regenerated because he grows in size throughout the movie, which he does in some other movies as well. But there is zero explanation about where Godzilla comes from, who he is, why he is, or anything else. That is the American Godzilla movies. Like what he's doing there, what his motivation is. In the Japanese version, in this one specifically, Godzilla is a killing machine. He shows up and he eats people. Well, he eats machine. He eats. He's a killing machine. It is a horror movie. It is a on seat. Oh, it's a horror movie. It's so good. It's got everything you want. Everything you want in a Godzilla movie you want. He throws buses, planes, trains, boats, submarines, a destroyer. He blows them all up, and the destruction scenes are primo. Especially when he's crashing through buildings or he uses his atomic breath. I mean, I don't think he eats anybody, come to think of it. I don't think he eats anyone. He's not the T-Rex, he's Godzilla. He grabs people by their head and tosses them a couple of miles, killing them instantly, obviously, but I don't think he eats anybody. Never comes to that. The atomic breath. The atomic breath is done really neat in this one, where they show the spikes on his back begin to glow in sequential order. They go blue, 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 and then his breath becomes thing, and then he shoots his atomic breath. This is the first one that shows the atomic breath like I think it should. An atom bomb explodes and explodes like this. The atomic breath Godzilla has explodes in his mouth and then he shoots it. So it's literally just laying waste like an atom bomb in one direction. It's terrifying, it's wonderful, it's really done, it's done very well. Okay, the art and the design of this movie is fantastic. Now, when Godzilla first appears, he is smaller in size. He's a smaller Godzilla. He's holding an airplane, and the airplane's about this big. He's holding a World War II airplane like this. So Godzilla's this big, which means Godzilla's this big. Like if that's a person, Godzilla's this big. And he is creepy and terrifying when he's that size. Like, I don't know how they did the modeling for that and how they did that. And by the way, lots of modeling in this movie. I don't know how much is CGI and how much are models, but it looks like a lot of models. Oh boy, it's so good, it's so good. But he is terrifying. Then he grows bigger when the hydrogen bomb gets tested. They allude to that. I think this is pretty much a cautionary tale against atomic weaponry. That's how Godzilla was born, I think, in the mind of those who wrote him. That it's a cautionary tale against atomic weapons. I'm not quite sure. I've never read anything about that, but that's my guess. So when that happens, he gets bigger. And then he holds a train, and the train is this big. He's holding a train, so now he's getting much, much bigger. And then he's finally big enough that a World War II destroyer is this big, and he is this big. I mean, the scenes in the water. There are scenes in the water where they chase Godzilla. I know I'm all over the place on this review. I'm so sorry about that. There are scenes in the water where they're chasing him and when he's chasing them. And there's the battle in the water. And Godzilla is terrifying in the water and how big he is, how he can stand up and how he can swim underneath. There's a Jaws-like scene where they're chasing the boat. Oh, it is so good. It is so good. I had such a ball. So the acting, when I said it was melodramatic, it really is. It's not quite tie the woman to the train track, kind of twist the mustache kind of melodrama, but it is very melodramatic. Everything is at a really intense height, and it works because it is throughout the entire film. It's not that one person is, but our lead characters are really going through some heavily, overly dramatic scenes, and it works because you start to care for the characters a lot. The music. I was going to clip the music and try and put it in this video, but I'm pretty sure it'll get blocked because the movie just came out. But if you want to, I'll put a link to it, to Google the theme to Godzilla, which is this big, epic bum, 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 bum. And when it first comes out and Godzilla shows up and they play the theme, it was kind of goofy. And the people in the audience giggled. And the guy sitting next to me, one seat over, giggled. But he did it exactly the way I did. He did this. After it happened, he went, ha, ha. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like we were so in. The audience was so in. They applauded at the end. The audience applauded at the end of Godzilla -1. It was wonderful. Everything fit. The music, the melodrama, the chase scene in the water, the ending, the camaraderie. There's a love story, not love story in there. Just throw it in there. Little love story, not love story sort of thing. Epic thing. And then, of course, there's a cliffhanger at the end. Stay for the cliffhanger at the end, which is not after the credits. It's just at the very end of the movie. The audience applauded. I applauded. I had a ball. It is the best Godzilla movie made yet. It is the best Godzilla movie. I've seen the best Godzilla movie, and its name is Godzilla -1. Let's do a quick shout out. This comes from my Tiny Epic Crimes video, and Seth Givens asks me, I'm interested in Tiny Epic Pirates. Have you reviewed that? I've not reviewed that. I do have it, though. I do have Tiny Epic Pirates with the expansion, and Tiny Epic Pirates is a fun game. It comes with these great little ships, which I painted. I painted them so they look the colors of otherwise they just come this color. You know, they come that color, and I painted them in like this and that. Tiny Epic Pirates is fun, and I like it. I especially like how it looks on the board. I'll do some screenshots of that so you can see what it looks like. My problem with Tiny Epic Pirates is it's mostly trading. It feels like Tiny Epic Traders rather than Tiny Epic Pirates. Sinking ships doesn't really happen or get you anything, and yeah, it lacks a little of the pirate motif for me, but because of the little ships and traveling around the board, I do love it. Tiny Epic Pirates, Seth, you should get it. You should go get it. So that'll do it for this week for my review of Godzilla -1. It's the best Godzilla movie ever made. Please go see that as soon as possible while it's still in the theaters. Otherwise, I'm sure you'll be able to stream it sooner than later, because that's how most things go. Let me know what you're talking about. Let me know what you're geeking out about. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you're playing. Let me know what your IP is, what your intellectual property, Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel Universe, Lord of the Rings, you name it, I'm all in. I'm all in on the nerd. I'm all in on the nerd stuff. And yes, if you haven't seen Captain's Log, You Don't Own Me, please give that a watch. I'm really proud of that. Thank you for those that have responded. Till I see you next time, as always, peace, love, live long and prosper. And I mean it.